honestly do not mind. I love this show.
That theme song so much.
I hate it too.
So
as much as I like this series overall, I consider that to be the cringiest anime opening I've ever watched.
Honestly, I don't mind it. I've seen.
Again, she's very Toriko minded, so like she's biased.
Come on, like when you guys played the theme song, the first theme song for Kenshin, I hated it.
I love that theme song though.
Oh, guys, seriously, the voice of the
Freckles. That's the name of the song.
The voice of the English voice actress who's
it sounds exactly the same in Japanese, just so you know.
I know, but I don't mind it as much in Japanese.
But still, I like that opening. I don't like the Toriko opening, though.
I
If I did a
hate
try not to
Toriko.
cringe challenge, that's right up there with this one scene from Welcome to the Ballroom.
Oh, which one?
You haven't watched it, have
Oh
you?
shoot, I have to watch it still.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Do I know what it is? Have I read it yet?
Have you read the 9th volume?
Probably not. You have to give me stuff. I only have the first one.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Did you see the part where Hyodo decides to try and loosen Tatara up?
Loosen him up? You mean like?
Oh, is it?
Is it
You
do
may
stretching
have explained
exercises
this
or
to me
something?
one
What?
time. It's
Is it
like,
stretching exercises or something?
Something like that.
Oh dear.
is it the thing with his with the?
Yeah, it's something like that. I think Christy knows what I'm talking about.
Does he like break his arm or something?
No, Hyodo's
Funny
not
if he
that
did.
mean. He was trying something, though, and it was purely experimental. It's like, bad Hyodo. But we're not here to talk about Welcome to the Ballroom. We're here to talk about Toriko.
Guys. Alright.
We have been reading the manga.
Well, we read the manga, and now we're here to talk about it in depth. So, all of the spoilers, because we have to remind somebody.
Stop
about
watching
what's-
cooking videos and pay attention, Christy.
Yeah, you had to pay attention, too. I'm having her pay attention more than she wants to right now.
Yes.
I still have it open because I have my my
Questions?
Yeah.
You can keep it open to the questions.
Keep open the questions and
Yeah, nothing else can be open. I have the Toriko wiki up on here in
Yeah.
case we have to look something up.
you do. You are gonna have to look stuff up with me here.
Okay, so since you've got the most obvious questions, we're gonna have you start first.
No, you guys start. Start with the characters and stuff like that, and I'll just continue tacking questions on. Take me last.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna have a lot of questions for you guys by the time we're done with this.
Okay, so first of all, a quick description of what Toriko is. It's a Shonen Jump series about food, essentially. It takes place in a planet that I'm not sure whether or not they called it Earth. Did they call it Earth?
They called it Earth a few times, but I just like to call it the Age of Gourmet.
Yeah, well, it's essentially Earth is what it's supposed to be, but it's like, okay, so the apocalypse happened, and this is post-apocalyptic, and now life revolves around food.
Which is weird.
Yeah. And basically everything is edible. It doesn't look edible, but
But it always is.
you can use whatever it is. You can use it for something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's for actual eating, sometimes it's the cookware.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. It could be literally anything is
And
food.
if you can't eat it, someone else can.
And if you can't eat it, someone else can. Did we ever have a
Anything.
character who had to deal with food allergies or anything like that?
It was probably in the anime. I did not see anything about food allergies. In
I
the
don't think there
manga.
was anything about food allergies.
It's like
If there was anything about food allergies, I feel like we would have known. Otherwise, it'd be.
Yeah,
You
it probably
mentioned
would have
person-
stuck out. Okay, so first things first, everybody's favorite character.
Coco.
Komatsu.
Okay,
And yours?
What?
Yours?
Don't
you me? Just pick one.
I'm gonna say Midora at the end. He was my favorite character.
Are you kidding me?
No, after that, well, I never thought I'd be happy to see you moment. I was just like, yay! Actually, I'm
like, oh,
happier
good,
here.
Midora's here to save the day. Good for you. And,
Yes, after that, I was just like, okay.
I never cared.
I'm gonna
for,
stick
even
with
at the end
this.
of the story, I never cared for Midora. I was like, you know what? You're a jerk. And,
Just-
you
just
don't
don't judge
regret
me.
being a jerk. You
Am
just
I-
do stuff.
Am I also another person who liked Midora?
Oh, you did? Okay, good. I'm not alone
You
on
guys
this
can
boat.
like Midora all you want. I didn't.
That's okay. She can be the... Okay, so who's your second favorite character?
My second favorite. Gosh dang.
Yeah, do you have a second
think
favorite?
about it. 'Cause I'm just
Second
like,
favorite for me has to be Tepe.
Tepe's awesome. Tepe did come to mind
Yeah.
when you mentioned that. Tepe's good. Milk, I like her.
Yeah, I'd say my second favorite is either Coco, because he was my favorite from the start when I was watching the anime, or Tepe, which I want to get back around to. Maybe I should finish watching the anime. I don't know if it does the filler
But
thing.
Coco's my favorite. I love Coco.
So, yeah,
Hello, character relevance. But the question is, okay, what were your initial impressions? Because here's the story. Once upon a time, I started watching Toriko, and I thought, wow, and then I found out that the Toriko manga ended. I stopped watching the anime because I found out the dub only goes 50 episodes into it, and that upset me, because I kind of like dubs. But I decided to read the manga once I found out it was finished in Japan, and then we ended up having to wait for the books to come out in English, but that's another story. I already knew what it was about. I brought it home. I brought home the first 10 volumes, and I started reading it. And then you picked it up and started reading it.
and then I picked it up.
And then Christy picked it up, and every single time they circulated through our house, all three of us ended up reading those volumes.
And I fell in love with it.
She fell in love with it, and I was just sitting here like, it's pretty good. And at the end here, I'm just like, why did I ever read this?
That's okay. We need somebody like you with a cynical view on things to keep this from
Not even cynical, it's just the fact that I didn't get everything. If I was keeping up with it, and if everything was just right there at the front of my mind while I was reading the whole thing.
So, if you had read through it all completely the same way we did the first few volumes, instead of having to wait months between volumes, you probably would have understood it better, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, as I was reading the final volumes, it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? It's just like food luck and food spirits and all that crap, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Oh yeah, back channels, that's why we're not all dead right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and another thing is, like, when they were in the gourmet world, it's like, you know how I really liked Yokai Watch for a while. I saw how they incorporated, like, different types of yokai into it. Yep. Like, I saw tons of them.
So, I mean, my question was, why did you keep reading it?
Because it came in, and you guys were going to talk about it anyway, and if he kept on doing that, and I'd be like, huh? But then it turns out, even after reading it, I'm still like that. So I don't know either.
Yeah, I really just wanted to finish it, because once upon a time I started it, so...
Yeah, and
I ended up being the last one to read the final volume as well, which is ironic.
And I was the first one!
You were the first one. Okay, so what caught you? Did you like it from page 1?
Honestly, I liked it best.
No, I mean, so at what point did you realize you were gonna really love it?
Toriko's first adventure with Komatsu.
Oh, so like chapter 1, okay. At what point did I realize I was gonna like Toriko?
Gosh, you probably hated the first few episodes.
I did hate the first few episodes.
I think you did. You kept on complaining to me about it at first, and then
yeah, that's what I sent you the theme
song. You were like,
this
is so dumb. Here, watch this theme song, and I'm like, this is so dumb. Why are you still watching it?
Yeah,
and then
Coco showed up, and I loved Coco. That's what happened.
All
his fangirls were hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and then Toriko has to pick him up and is like, shoot, get away from him!
Yeah, that's funny. I remember that. I think it's hilarious how Coco is one of the four kings who has all the fangirls, because they're always asking, "Can you see my future?" And the answer is yes, he can somewhat see the future.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I bet Sunny is jealous.
Nah, I don't think so. He seems like the kind of person who just wants to be admired from a distance.
Yeah, he is super flamboyant, though.
He's like, yeah. From a distance, nobody's allowed to come too close to me. I know where you are.
Eccentric
I can tell where you guys are because of my
hair tentacles.
For a giant pink snake.
Phalanges.
Phalanges. Those are bones. Those are the actual
flagella, that's the word I'm looking for.
Flagella.
Phalanges. I'm gonna murder you. Like, I just took anatomy class on this.
We got Miss Bones over here.
From
now on, we shall refer.
Phalanges These are the same thing.
From now on, we shall refer to you as Miss Bones.
Go ahead. I mean, I like nicknames, but none of them stick, so.
Okay, so you're Miss Bones now.
Miss Bones. I'm
Okay.
gonna get a YouTube channel. It's
So,
gonna be Miss Bones.
but I mean, at what
and
point
it's not
did
gonna have anything to do with bones.
Okay,
I
Miss
do have a skull in here, though.
Okay, Miss Bones. At what point did you decide that Toriko was gonna be, at least for a while, worth your time following?
I guess it was just the Shonen Jump aspect of it. You know, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love, you know, things with that kind of, if this duel, like, you know, it's kind of like they have these battle of wits, and whenever one of those happened, like, what was a really good one? You know, what was his name? The one guy who had, like, I think he had a tolerance to, like, a lot of the, different poisons or something like that. He showed up. I can't remember his name now, but he was like the dude. He had
Was he the guy with the straw?
no, yeah,
It wasn't Grimpatch.
no.
How do you remember Grim Patches?
Yes, I
It
do
was one of those things where
remember.
they had like almost like an eating contest, but it was like gambling, and there was a casino.
Oh, Life Bearer!
Life bearer.
Bearer.
That's it. I'm like, he's a bearer of something.
Yes.
It's a
Anyway.
Life Bearer! He
But
was
yeah,
teamed
it
up
was
with
like when
Sunny!
he showed up, and that, what was it called? Like, it was things
In
like
the
that.
gourmet
those kinds of-
casino.
I like Terry Cloth too. Terry Cloth, that was awesome.
Terry Cloth, best dog!
Yes.
Yes.
Terry Cloth, I really liked him. But it was like, when he introduced those new elements like that, I really liked it. But then after a while, there were too many elements, and I was just like, stop. No, don't introduce a new, how dare you, stop.
I forgot what was going on.
I did.
I liked
completely.
I did like the
But
the gourmet
Bearer's,
casino.
but Live Bearer's duel was really interesting to me.
That was also a Coco highlight. I like
And
how Coco's
that's
like.
probably why I liked it so
I like how
much.
Coco's like, listen, I don't go to casinos because I can cheat, so I try to, you know, just get rid of the temptation entirely because it's probably along the lines of that's just morally wrong, and it's probably that's the thing about gambling, it's really no fun if there's, like,
If you
if
have...
you have perfect luck.
Yeah.
I mean, for some people that's probably great, but in the case of someone like Coco, I would imagine that.
It's also really funny that each of the kings has, like, an increased sense.
Ha! I love the fact that I predicted that Zebra's was a sense of hearing.
Yeah.
So, Zebra is sense of hearing, and he has, power of voice.
Voice powers.
Yeah.
You see, I like sound-based powers, like of vibrations and stuff like that, so I always thought Zebra's abilities were really cool.
Those are cool. I like sound-based powers, too.
Yeah. It's... But then you have Toriko, who has increased sense of smell.
Mhm.
You have Sunny, who is...
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
You can see the Sunny?
I'm talking about Sunny, not Coco.
Coco, yeah,
Coco
sorry.
has eyeballs.
They're
I was
both in
about
front
to
of
say,
me.
Sunny does, he has the feelers.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, the feelers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sunny is like taste and touch combined, so that's why I figured that Zebra would be hearing and sound, because I already knew who the other three were, and Zebra was the only one who hadn't shown up in the anime up to where I had watched it. Up to where I was getting to the part with the BB corn.
Oh, the
That's
BB corn.
where I was getting to in the anime when I watched it.
That's the only thing that Toriko got for his full course meal without Komatsu involved.
Yes, Terry was involved.
Yes, I love Terry Cloth.
I like the fact that his name is Terry Cloth. It's like, you're soft, I'm gonna name you Terry Cloth.
Oh, you're so soft. You remind me of, I know, I'm gonna name you Blanket. Like, that's what I thought.
A
Like,
towel.
towel.
A cloth.
Terry Cloth towel,
Yeah.
yep.
So, yeah.
You're Blanky. This is Blanky. This is my dog.
Wasn't that the name of, one of the characters, in
The brave little
Yu-Gi-Oh?
toaster, yes.
Brave little toast.
That was the name of a dog in, Yu-Gi-Oh, wasn't it?
Blanky. I think so.
Was there
I
a
think
dog
that
named
rings a
Blanky?
bell.
I think it was, like, Tristan's dog?
Oh yeah!
Hang on a
Tristan
minute.
does have a
Tristan's dog.
female dog, and I believe its name is actually Blanky.
Hang on a minute. I'm
It's
looking
like-
this up.
It's like Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho and how he has his kitten.
Yes, I remember that.
He has his kitten. You can't blame Kuwabara for being a softie.
I'm looking for it.
Kuwabara's
Did it show
best
up in,
character
like-
in Yu Yu Hakusho.
It was either first season or last season. So it wasn't
He does actually have a dog named Blanky.
And it's a girl.
And it's a female.
You see, this is totally-
Her other name is Lucky, apparently.
Ah,
Blanky and Lucky.
Mhm.
She's called either of those two names.
I don't remember Lucky, but I do remember the dog being called Blanky.
And I just remember it because of you guys.
Tristan mentions his dog while they're playing with their digital pets.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that being mentioned
And
once you brought it up.
Blanky makes her first appearance when he's taking her for a walk outside the Black Clown.
Yep. The Black Clown.
And
That
then
was
she
the,
starts barking just before he spots Bakura entering the shop. And Honda, or Tristan, then brings Blanky with him to go meet his friends, instructing her not to chew on Joey's shoes. I have to reread this. I love it so much.
I have the entire final arc, and you have like the entire first arc, don't you?
I do. I actually have the very last book too. Of Millennium.
Yeah, because I got that because I got that one twice on accident, and
Well, I
hate
haven't
that
now.
that happened. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh nostalgia
But
here.
Blanky is actual character with her own page on the Wikia.
Of course she does. You see, unlike the Toriko wiki, the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki has everything on it.
Well, that's because Yu-Gi-Oh blew up
Yeah.
at one
Yep.
point.
I would know.
Like, Toriko was popular in Japan, but it's very popular down here in the West.
Okay, so I have to say this now. One of my favorite aspects of Toriko as a series was the fact that fans would send in ideas for ingredients and stuff like that.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
cute. Whenever you
And-
saw that show up and it says, and this was sent in by this person, I'm like, and you drew that and put it in the aww. It made me
Yeah,
so
they were
happy.
they were ingredients and stuff that were actually added into the manga by the author, and I think that that's just a really amazing thing. You don't see that very often. And it's like even really powerful monsters. Like I think 1 or 2 of the 8 kings was actually sent in by a fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please tell me it was something amazing like the Sky Deer.
The Dragon King, I know for a fact, was sent in by a fan.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So I remember that. I really like that. You don't see a lot of that in series and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool aspect.
That is, I liked that.
It was also really funny when you read the
What is
authors.
Russia? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the Yu-Gi-Oh!
The
wiki
author.
stuff.
Get off the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki. This is
When
not a
you
Yu-Gi-Oh podcast.
when you read like the author's note at the beginning of it, and like he's talking about the different aspects, and at the end it is like, ooh, and my weight is this many kilograms.
Yes, he was using the manga to help his manga volume releases to help keep track of how his weight is going.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at that the whole time and I was just like, why do I need to know this?
Well, you enjoyed it,
Why do I
Gabrielle.
care?
It's a
Like, he
motivational
cares,
thing.
and that's how he did it. No,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, then.
It's a motivational, just a general motivational, thing.
At
to
first
keep
I was
track
like,
of.
why? But after a while I came to appreciate it. I'm just like, please don't tell me your weight stagnated. I want to see it fluctuate, and I don't know why.
Okay, next question.
Okay, it's your turn.
So, it's pretty obvious who best gourmet king is.
Coco is the best.
Yeah, Coco's
Coco.
best.
He's Team Mom.
Team Mom! I love that. But my next one is, can you really hate any of them?
Hate any of the 4 kings?
Yeah.
No, although to be honest, I think I like Toriko the least out of all of them.
Me too. Isn't that weird? He's the main character, and we're all just like, you're happy-go-lucky, and that's it.
Hello, shonen trope 36.
So, yeah.
At least I like the fact that all the characters are adults.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like none of
And
them.
they're not like middle schoolers or high schoolers.
Yeah.
We are adults here doing all this bizarre
I love
stuff.
seeing I love seeing old people fight.
Yeah, because you have like Knocking Master Jiro, and then you have Satsuno.
And
You have Ichiryu.
yeah, Granny Chio. She creeped me out for a while.
Me too.
And
She was like,
you
I'm
know,
like, what's up with your face?
the Master Chin Chin. Master Chin Chin, the guy with the glasses.
He
He had 2 chins. He had a double chin. I just realized. Named Master Chin Chin. Oh my god, I know exactly who you were talking to just because I remember 2 chins. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, but I need to watch it. I need to watch the anime again just because I want to see how they managed to censor the gore. Because as I was going into the manga, I was just like, oh, interesting. Then I rewatched the first episode of the anime, and I was just like, boo! This is so babyfied compared to what it looks like in the manga. But they do that for like every shonen series.
I'm probably just
look
gonna.
at what they did to JoJo. They blacked out everything.
Yeah, but. I mean, granted, we haven't gotten to the point where it's a seinen series. Seinen?
Right.
Seinen series yet.
Well, if you guys ask me,
Which I'm
just
gonna be
going to.
happy for in part 5. Part 5 is just nightmare fuel altogether.
Well, if you
The
guys.
Metallica fight, it's gonna be like, I can't see what's going on! I only know what's going on based off of PTSD from the time I read it in the manga and the subtitles.
So, if you guys were ever going to ask me, I would suggest I'm only going to stick with the manga. I don't feel like watching the anime.
I feel like
Oh, so you
It's
did
too
think
long.
so you did
It's
think
long.
that you did think that the opening was cringy.
It's like it wouldn't be on like it wouldn't be in my list of best anime openings, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I just look at it and I cringe.
I don't think it's worth listening to.
I
even
didn't-
once,
The only thing
but
that I
never
really
more than
appreciated
once.
is the fact that they actually say like Toriko in the actual theme song. They don't
Yeah.
do that anymore. They don't actually like have songs concerning the actual shows. Like the last time that I saw that happen was Cells at Work, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, like the Cells at Work opening is just really.
They do mention the in the Kami-sama Kiss opening.
Right.
They do say the name of the
show.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
the very last line.
so next question. Who do you think is just out of everyone best support character? Like
Well,
best
that's not
supporting.
everyone.
Like anybody in the supporting. Everybody in the supporting cast.
Supporting cast. Can we all agree that Milk was best supporting character?
Yeah.
So good though.
I liked Milk, and it's kind of like a fight between Milk and Tepe for me.
Oh, that's right. Tepe is also technically a support character,
I don't.
isn't he?
Yes,
I like
yes,
Tepe.
he is. Tepe is really good.
How about we just,
We just
because
look
they're
at
not-
a tie.
Tie.
Okay,
I was
so
about to say, why don't we just ship them for some odd reason? Like, say they're
Oh.
the best supporting couple.
I don't
But,
Best
like,
supporting
there's no point because the thing is that
I
they were
don't ship
implying
'em.
that Milk and Komatsu were a thing, but now like they're completely ignoring that everything whatsoever.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
you
the
know
good
that
news
the
is
author.
Toriko isn't a shipping kind of series.
It's true.
I
Like the only
know.
person only people can actually ship are technically Rin and Toriko. But
But
like, and they get married, but like you don't see what happens with that. You're just like,
No.
they're married. Congrats.
it's just like, yeah, they're
Yeah,
married. Congrats.
still.
Yay, Rin got her dream come true, and Toriko's like, yeah, I don't see why not. And you're like, why? You know what, you jerk?
Yeah,
Just
but
slap him
still.
sometimes.
He appreciates. It's not completely one way though. He appreciates what she's
It's like
done.
one like off person ship that I made is like you remember Pukin, the person with the the lady with the 4 arms.
Yes, I do remember her.
It's like
Is it her and Tepe?
yes, I ship them so hard.
It's like they had
Oh, yeah,
one
that
scene
one lady
together.
who showed up for like
No,
2
and
seconds.
if you look back in the pair arc, weirdest arc that I've ever seen.
That was so weird.
Yes, it was.
I don't want that ever.
But if you look back, you could tell that she
It's-
was really concerned about Tepe.
Yep.
So you could
Pair-
possibly
Rule
see
63, the anime arc.
Pear is so gross.
You act like
Can
you
we just
think
stop talking about it?
there aren't actually ingredients like that in the world.
I know.
There are though. That's the
But-
problem.
But if you were to ask me what I thought was the best arc,
I was gonna ask that actually.
honestly, I don't care what other people would say. I really liked Ice Hack.
You like Ice Hell. You
Yeah,
can say Hell. It's okay.
I liked Ice Hell.
PG-13 Hell
you
is
can say,
fine.
you can say Ice Hell. Don't worry about it.
I really liked the Ice Hell arc.
For me, it was probably either Ice Hell or the Gourmet Casino. because I like Coco getting a spotlight.
Honestly,
And not falling by the wayside so that I completely forget about him in the final arc and decide that Midoriya is my favorite character in the end.
So, it's also really funny because, the biggest WTF moment...
Not yet. No, we're gonna get to that later. First of all,
Got
from
it.
what we've been talking about, Miss Bones.
Miss Bones.
From what we've been talking about, what was your favorite arc in the series?
My favorite arc, my gosh.
Let me think. We've got the Ice Hell, we've got the Regal Mammoth.
Judge.
We're running around inside a giant elephant. How are we supposed to get in the giant elephant? Well, it's sedated right now, so I think we're gonna have to know.
Alright,
We're going
gosh.
backwards.
Give you a list of arcs.
Okay.
Well, she was
let's
just
see if I
doing
can find
that.
a list of actual arcs in
Because you
here.
did, you said 2, and then
I also have
Story arcs. Blah blah blah. You got the Garara Gator. You've got the Rainbow Fruit, the Puffer Whale,
Puffer
I
whales.
love the puffer whale. I'm gonna keep that one up there.
Regal Mammoth, the BB Corn, Century Soup, which is the Ice Hell.
Uh-huh.
I love the Ice Hell arc.
There's a filler arc. Oh, great.
Oh no, if it's in the anime, I don't
That's
need it.
in the
It's
anime.
2 episodes. Thank goodness it's only 2 episodes long. You got
I'm
the
only
ozone. You got the ozone grass. You
Which
remember
is
the ozone grass?
It's
Uh-huh.
in the vegetable sky.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's in the vegetable skies. You know where it is.
I know.
The
yeah.
real- The reality of the gourmet world. Yeah, where Toriko jumped off a cliff and realized, oh, I bit off more than I could chew for once.
Yeah,
The
Toriko,
Milk
you're a
Stardust
big
arc.
Milk
Milk
Stardust.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I have to see this in the anime, the Mellow Cola arc, because that's where Zebra
I love-
finally shows up.
I love the Mellow Cola arc, though. That was great.
I love Mellow Cola.
I want to drink that actually. Mellow Cola.
Oh yeah.
That's like lion barf.
It's barf tears.
It's
It was
lion
his tears?
tears.
I thought it was his barf.
It was
Ah, I
tears.
was crying. It's tears.
Komatsu pointed it out.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
like
but I
it
haven't
is.
read that in like, I don't know, a year.
Oh, there's another 3-episode filler arc.
Don't care.
The Shining Gorami, whatever it was. You remember when they went after the special fish, and that's when you first met,
Yeah.
the snake. That's where you first met Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Quinn.
Take your shoes off before you get on the snake.
Oh my
And
God,
Sunny was
no.
just like, if we're gonna ride my pet, you guys are gonna have to take off your shoes.
Oh my
We
gosh.
don't want her getting dirty. Okay, Meteor Garlic. Oh, that's the,
That's the gourmet casino arc.
yes, that's the Gourmet Casino
Meteor
arc.
I like the casino arc.
The
Yes.
Corsino.
Okay, so right now it's currently between the casino and the
Mellow-
Mellow Cola.
Casino, Mellow Cola, or Century Soup.
Or Century Soup. Yeah.
So you really like Ice Hell, pretty much.
I do like Ice Hell, yes.
Honestly,
It's one of those 3. I can't really figure out which one I like.
there was
more,
the bubble fruit. You guys remember the bubble fruit?
yeah,
Yes, I
I
do.
remember that. That's
Oh,
when
more 2-episode anime filler. Thank
Shush
you.
it.
Stop.
The four beasts. You remember the 4 beasts?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Zebra's like, I borrowed this horse.
Oh my
It's
god.
like the Dharma horse.
And it's like this big ugly, and he's like, it's my pet. I'm like, gosh dang it. It's like, we lent it to him.
It's like
and there's the cooking festival.
Yeah, biggest. It's a big bust.
Yes, it was a big bust. And then they went to the gourmet world and all that other stuff. So you had the Billion Bird.
Oh yeah,
Then-
that thing.
Yeah, air, pear,
Eggs
another god.
everywhere.
Yeah, essentially that's all of them. So yeah, so it's between, so we really like the Century Soup,
Yeah,
and,
I just like all the stuff that actually happens in the human world, and I don't really care much for
but the gourmet world actually takes up like 80% of the planet!
Yeah, but a bunch
How
of
does
the
that
different
even
stuff that
work?
happens in the human world is actually more interesting, though.
It really kinda is, so let me think. What do we
I
have?
like the human world stuff.
Yeah. Let me think. So it's between, Mellow Cola,
Century Soup.
Century Soup,
Meteor
and
Garlic.
Meteor Garlic, yep.
But Melt Stardust,
Yeah,
I thought I loved
Not
that.
Stardust is really good too, though.
Yeah.
Stardust.
I don't know which
So-
one I like more though.
Yeah, okay.
If the need
If I had to choose between, like, Melanchola and,
Are you talking about Meteor Garlic?
Meteor Garlic, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. It's one of those for me.
I honestly really like the Century Soup arc.
Yeah. Well, we've narrowed it down to top 4 at least, so we know which parts we liked best.
Yes.
Which one of those was the latest in the series?
If you're talking about latest in the series,
Latest out of all of those, it looks like...
I believe it's Meteor Garlic.
Yeah, the Meteor Garlic is the
And in the manga, after the people ate it, they got buff.
Yep.
yes, it was.
Yeah. So I saw somebody post somebody was asking what's your favorite manga / anime besides JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and one person actually said Toriko and says I think that a bunch of JoJo fans would actually like Toriko, at least if you're fans of the first 3 arcs. And I'm like, you mean because there's buff dudes everywhere? And the answer is it is kind of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for culinary students.
Yeah, it's just that
It's absolutely over the top.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know, but I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, I like how what I did like was I like how they were doing calorie counts and stuff like that at some point, because it was just like, well, thank you. At least in this case, when you show these characters eating so much and they talk about how fast they metabolize this stuff and how many calories they need in order to use this much energy.
When they finally explained that about Toriko and Zebra, I was like
a zebra when he
this
has a
makes
low
so much more sense
when
now,
he
you
has
know what?
like the low calorie count, he wasn't even able to speak. It's like
Right.
he would it's not even him refraining from talking, it's just that he couldn't speak.
Yeah. Let's talk about Melka first and how he just
It's like-
he talks so quietly.
and then
he
it's
needs
like
a microphone rack so that you can actually hear what he's saying.
And then it's
It
like
was at that moment where Toriko's. It was at that
You
moment
know, it's
where.
like that guy from Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah.
That's right.
What? It's like,
it's like when Milk the Second was adopted by Milk the First. She had to get like really close to him to know what she was talking. And then it's like, I thought she really liked me. Dang it!
He's just like, well,
oh my God.
are you telling me you didn't realize that this was a problem?
It's like I can hear myself, but nobody else can hear me.
I hope you can hear yourself.
I bet he can.
It was at the moment where Toriko was just like, you know what, I bet that Zebra could probably help us out here, that I was like, I knew it! I knew that Zebra had hearing and sound-based powers.
Mm-hmm.
It was the process of elimination.
Yeah. But still, yeah, between those arcs.
Yeah, so we narrowed it down to 4. My favorite, I mean, when I think about it, I think Melanchola is probably my favorite, because,
like Zebra.
yeah, I do, I like Zebra a lot, he's kind of hilarious. And,
He's
I like,
aggressively passive, that's what
aggressively
he is.
passive, that's what we called him, Let me think, because, it's like we labeled each of the 4 kings as something like that. Who is it? Toriko and Sunny. One of them is aggressive, one of them is passive. Coco is passive-aggressive, and Zebra's aggressively passive. But which one was which?
Passive was probably Toriko. No.
Aggressive
No, you're
would
right. It's
most-
really hard to figure out which one was which.
Yeah.
One was one. Because... it is hard, but yeah, it was passive-aggressive, and aggressively passive. That's probably why I liked Zebra so much, because we called him aggressively passive.
I know. It's like I don't really see how you can really, really hate the Gourmet Kings.
You know, that's the thing. I kind of, now that I'm looking back on it, I kind of wish that the whole we have to get Zebra out of prison thing was more of a prison break kind of thing, instead of just walking in and being like, hey, we kind of need him for something.
Oh my
Can you
God.
let him out on parole?
Can you imagine being able to do that?
Oh my gosh.
The world would be in
And
so much
Warden-
trouble.
Warden, what was her name? Love?
Warden Love. She
Warden
was
Love.
weird.
The fact of the matter is, Zebra's the only person that she can't get to fall in love with her using her random bee pheromones or whatever it is, and that's why she likes to keep him around, because she likes to keep on trying, but he's just like, leave me alone. I want food, that's it.
All that I want is to eat and be alone. So,
Everybody, yeah, that's right. And then we have the concept of everybody is trying to steal Komatsu from Toriko.
I know!
Except Coco. Coco's the only one not like, wow, Komatsu, you're a great chef. And
I
at
think
this...
Komatsu likes. I know, not Komatsu. Sorry. I think that Coco just likes being lonely.
Yes, you know what? I think that he does as well. He's good at being alone.
But you know,
he's got his
Is that what makes him best king?
Probably. He's not clingy.
He's like the most he's just the most logical out of all of them.
And he's not clingy, like she said.
He's not clingy.
Yeah.
Coco is
Plus-
I think that we summed it up better earlier when we said he's team mom.
He's team mom.
And mom is to take care of the babies, and the babies do whatever the heck they want. And you gotta try to keep them in line, but that might not work.
Like.
Okay, now can we please just get one of your questions?
Oh god, which one did you want?
Just,
I have a lot.
just ask
Whichever one
one.
you feel like asking.
Okay, I'm
Whether
gonna go
it
from
be-
the top down. I have a lot.
Okay, then we'll do like a speed round and try to do as many of them within a span of like 5
I can
minutes
make
or
I can
something.
make a couple of comments.
Okay.
I still can't see Sunny and Rinna's siblings.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is really
I can't
true.
see
All
it.
that
I can't see it. They're just
it's like the only thing they have in common with each other are the eyes.
That's it.
Yeah.
They both have like blue eyes. And
They're
that's
probably like adopted siblings. One of them is, you know what? Everybody is
I think they
adopted.
mentioned it at one point though.
Everybody in this series is technically adopted by all of them. They're all adopted by each of you, technically.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. You're
But
right.
you know that Rin wasn't trained by him.
No, she wasn't.
It's like, you know, she can still fight, but it's just that.
She uses the power of smells. Who wants to take a bet that the fact that she uses smells and pheromone powers is because Toriko has the sense of smell?
Probably. Because you know how obsessed she is about him.
Oh my gosh, some of the things she said made me go, oh my gosh, are you serious? I was sitting there like, Ren,
They did
you
have
are
a few
ridiculous.
fourth wall.
Shut up.
They did have a few fourth wall breaks in the manga. I noticed a few fourth wall breaks.
Yes.
Okay, but back to the questions. Yeah, we're not sure that Sunny and Rin are actually related.
Okay, so
But
It's like-
we're just gonna have to accept that
do
they
you
are.
guys want to go through
It's
what
like
I have
film
here? or
Yes,
you-
yes.
It's
Okay.
like film
So,
theory.
Film
you're gonna,
theory.
you guys are
Sunny
gonna have
and
to
Rin
help me
aren't
out here.
actually
Really, you
related.
guys are.
Okay.
What was happening towards the end again?
Okay, so
Oh.
after what point? What was the last thing that you remember thinking coherently about?
What do I think? I don't know. Just tell me what happened.
They're trying to get God.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
that's
so,
right. So
okay,
they
so
did. They were trying to get God, and God showed up, and God was like this gigantic toad, which made no sense.
yeah.
And
It's like frog
God of all
no
ingredients.
But then,
God.
like things kept on happening, and you were like, "Wait, when did you show up?" When
Yeah.
did this
Okay, so
happen?"
basically God shows up and the world starts going to hell in the handbasket, and that's where literally everything starts happening at once.
and like everything dies, but then it comes back to life again because of back channels.
Because of something like gourmet spirits,
don't-
spirits of food luck or something like
Gosh.
that.
Yeah, and you know, Komatsu with his food luck.
He's got an insane amount of food luck, and then you know it's like, and then
His
turns
good
out-
luck spirit
And then
was.
Acacia was always
a
crazy.
woman.
Yes, you know who it was. I forgot. What was her name?
And then Acacia was like evil, and then
He was
Neo-
evil, but he wasn't evil. But then he was evil, and it was just like, for crying out loud, pick
and
a
then
side already.
Neo, who literally killed
Pick the
everything
side
because
that
he
has the
just wanted to eat
cupcakes.
everything, was
Uh-huh.
still a good guy at the very end, and I was just sitting there like, why? You make no sense, and I don't like
Oh
you.
yeah, let's talk about the shonen tropes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
don't
first
do
of all,
that to a mean little ugly little thing like Neo. You just don't. Like
okay, so
Neo
we'll
should've
talk
just
about villain
died
redemption.
And died and just been dead.
Yeah, you see, we'll talk about villain redemption in just a second. But first of all, let's talk about power scaling.
Okay.
What
What
do we think about how the powers eventually escalated to being ridiculous in the end? Does that just seem like your typical shonen what you would call it that's going on?
Well, the way they were rushing through it, yeah, it was
Yeah.
super typical.
Yeah, like, but comparing that to like Dragon Ball Z, Like, is it on, like, the same, is it on the same level as that?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that because I'm not sure.
And Dragon Ball Z is still continuing to this very day.
No, Dragon Ball Z is
that's
Dragon
called
Ball
Dragon Ball Super.
Super.
It's technically a different show.
Dragon Ball Z is over. Z's been over for a little while.
Well, I like
Whatever.
Z. I like Dragon Ball Z best.
But how much
Like,
of it have you
I
actually
don't know.
watched?
Everything was just going completely out of whack. And
You
like,
know that I mostly know it because of the video game.
Oh yeah, and this is a thing, and this is a thing, and that's a thing.
Yeah, they just brought everything together at
And
the
you're
end.
just like, no, they didn't even because it didn't come together well at all.
I
No.
know. Yeah.
Not like something else that I won't mention here.
Honestly, I was mostly blinded because I was fangirling the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
I
it's
was
just
not
gonna.
fangirling the whole time. I was like, give me substance that's not like punching people to smithereens. Come on.
Give me, yeah, I think that it did in the end have a lot to rely on, the blindness of fans who were just like, oh, cool, look at everything that's happening, and I'm just like, okay, Toriko punched Acacia Neo, and he went all the way around the world, and then he stops him with, like, a backhand.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
that was funny.
It
The
was-
entire world is falling apart right now. It's kind of hilarious to watch the individual strikes make dents in the planet, Midora.
That was-
Midora.
And then they had like hands coming out of nowhere that were just like, we're gonna squish the world, and I'm like, no, you're not, because no one's gonna stop you. End of
Yeah.
story.
Yes.
And then somebody stopped him, and I was
But
like,
one of the
"Congrats,
parts that I
was right."
liked was that, you know, that when Jiro died, he ended up passing, you know, the name of Knocking Master to Tepe.
Yeah, that was another thing that was happening. Okay, we defeated Neo. The planet's still falling apart. Tepe, this is your chance to shine. What? What do you mean I'm gonna
I
die?
got knocked the entire planet.
And he's like, why the heck, guys?
I can't do that, and then Jiro's food spirit comes out of nowhere, and he's just like, Tepe,
Yes, you
I'm gonna
can.
help you. And then he totally does. And then
Jiro is
Tepe's-
Ghost
they don't even show you
Vitruvius.
how Tepe knocks the world. He just does.
Jiro is Ghost of Vitruvius.
Like, he just comes out of nowhere, and he's just
like,
knocks
okay,
And
son,
in
here's
one
how we
lesson-
do
In
this.
one lesson, you will know how to knock an entire planet and keep it from falling to, to dust.
It's just like, well, the world was technically supposed to end, right? Well, we're gonna stop it. We're not gonna take any of this fate bull crap.
Because the other had to figure out how to save everything somehow.
So he was like, oh, Tepe, this'll work. You might have had that planned. I mean, compared to what happened to Bleach, I will say that the Toriko ending is not nearly as rushed. Like, I was satisfied with everything up until the second to last chapter. The epilogue, I thought, was lame.
Oh, the epilogue was stupid.
Yeah,
That was
I
my
didn't
next question,
like the
actually.
epilogue.
What?
Why was the epilogue necessary?
It wasn't. I think it was just we needed to go into the shonen trope of, hey, look, here's what our heroes are doing years later, and they're on to bigger and better adventures. Considering how big our adventures were last time, I don't want them to get any bigger because that just like
I wish
dissociates
that
me from the
Toriko would
entire
just.
thing.
I just want Toriko to just settle down.
He won't.
Yeah.
He's a shonen protagonist. He won't.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
It's
That was
like-
one of my questions.
I
It was like,
wanted
I
to
know, I don't
I know-
care enough.
I know
don't.
too.
And that, like they were talking about like this orphanage kind of place where like, oh, all these orphans can taste God, and I'm like, congrats. You're
This
But
spoiling.
this is.
Oh, hello, semi-unrelevant plot device that was somewhere mentioned in the past that nobody really cared about.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I kind of like the Bleach epilogue more because at least we got future babies.
Yeah.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I was kind of waiting for it. I'm like, and where are the kids?
Yeah.
Where is
Future
the next
babies.
generation, guys?
I
They weren't
want.
there.
I
was like, too
I
bad.
really wanted to see like a Toriko
Okay,
child.
I'm not sure if we've already covered this question yet,
Mhm.
but I said, why couldn't they have just killed Neo and made him a perpetual bad guy? But like you said, Shonen Jump tropes.
That
It
was
is.
also-
It's the whole villain redemption thing, and I don't have a problem with villain redemption, obviously.
I know,
but,
I love villain
but
redemption
honestly,
a lot, and
I-
it's actually pretty ridiculous how much I love villain redemption. But like, this was stupid.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
when
like
it came to
by
Neo.
the time you get to like the final villain, I don't like it when your final villain, who has done all this potentially terrible crap and all that other stuff, and then you just decide that they're not going to be the bad guy anymore. It's
But,
like,
you know,
minor villains, like, let's go My Hero Academia here. You can't redeem, like, All for One.
you can't.
No.
No, and I don't think that, I don't think Horikoshi is going to try to redeem All for One. It's like, there's no way. His entire point, his entire character, like, the character has explained himself that, you know, he just wants to be the embodiment of fear and terror and, you know, rule everything. He's explained that.
Yeah.
So, there's no way he's gonna... I like the fact that you're gonna have a villain like that, you can hate a villain like that, and you don't have to worry about your feelings about that shifting based off of something else, right?
Yeah, the motives of the character of the antagonists in Toriko just were all over the place.
Yeah, well, let's think here.
Brian
I still
Massey
love-
played Zonge.
Yes, he
I
does.
know.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I only knew that because of the little thing that I got from...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it when we went over to your house, and I was like, "He played who?"
yeah, he played that guy.
Yeah, he played Zonge.
Mhm.
Zombie.
Who was, zombie. Oh, that's really funny to hear in English, actually. The whole thing where Toriko's calling him zombie, that's really funny. And Sinclair is Toriko, and I think it's really, I like that.
Okay,
I
let's
like
keep
that
going.
a lot.
Keep going.
Yeah, but as far as, like, yeah, we can all agree that villain redemption is not a bad thing, but by the time you get to something like Neo, it's just like, there's really, like...
that
Your
kind of ties.
appetite. An appetite shouldn't have a physical form, buddy.
No,
And
that's one of those weird things about Toriko, though. They have so many of those weird.
They take these natural phenomena and turn them into physical things, and these physical things
So-
are suddenly like.
It's so,
Here's
they're
one thing
confusing.
that I have to agree actually with Acacia on that he said in that final chapter was people don't eat to survive. People eat because they're hungry.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you weren't hungry, you wouldn't eat anything when you were on your ADD med. Remember?
Oh yeah, when I was on when I was on that med a while ago, it was like I didn't eat anything. I mean, I didn't eat. I was never hungry. I was never hungry, so I never ate. And there were times where food was put right in front of me, and I wouldn't eat it anyway because I simply felt like I was gonna throw up if I didn't eat if I ate it. So it was like
Yeah, so if you're not hungry, you're not gonna eat. So
Exactly.
that's actually a very true thing. You don't eat just to keep yourself alive. That's something that psychologically you have to acknowledge. But if your body doesn't want it, then you won't do it.
exactly.
In the case of food and stuff like that. So it's like there is some truth in there.
Yeah.
It might be spouted off like some sort of pseudo philosophical crap, but it's like
crap.
actually there is some truth in there.
Yeah, it's with Gabrielle's question. It kind of ties into one of the questions that I have. Is like, who do you think should have died?
Who do you think should have died?
Yeah.
Well, Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been sad if Acacia died.
Acacia did die.
Yeah, he
Oh
did.
yeah, he did.
And
Yeah,
then before
he
you
did.
say anything, Midora died as well, so
I
you
know
can't
that
say he
Midora
didn't.
died, okay? I'm remembering the table at the very end where everyone was like, "Oh look, it's my people, and they're all nice now, and they're all ghosts."
I would have, like I said, I would have been so fine if it would have just ended here. I looked at the back of the book, and I was just like, oh, what's this? And then I got to that point, and I'm like, it's this! It's on the back of the book!
Yeah, I would have liked it better if it just ended at that last scene at the wedding reception.
Yeah, I would have taken that.
That would have been nice, but then they had to go like, and then this is happening afterwards.
We're going to outer space!
Like, why?
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean, you have enough on Earth, just stick with it.
I wish there would have been something more with the gourmet eclipse, except for it just being like this giant pot-shaped satellite.
There's a giant pot-shaped satellite that covered the entire sun.
And it's like, my gosh, people! It's like, I didn't get that. I just didn't get that. I love this series to death, but seriously.
So stupid. Okay. I don't even remember his name. What was that gourmet knight doing again? Like, why did he jump into the pit of flavor and good food and whatnot?
You're talking about not Takimaru, it was,
Aimaru.
Aimaru.
Okay.
Yeah, it was him.
What?
Yoshitaru. No, it's... Aimaru. He was going down there because they needed to get the final ingredient or the
They
full
were-
course meal.
Yeah, they were
Which one
trying
was
to find
that?
center.
Center, which was at the center of the earth, so that makes sense.
So he had to get center.
He
Okay.
had to
Journey
get
to the
that.
center
Did he-
of the earth.
Did he get
No.
center? Did he get center?
Yes, he did. He got it, and then he dragged Tepe down there as well because he was just
Tepe
like,
had
we're
to knock
gonna
the
need to fix the entire planet after
And then
this.
Tepe-
And
that's
he's
when
like,
Tepe
what
had
the
to knock
crap
the
do
earth
you mean?
Together again.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he had to go get center, but it was funny
Yes,
because he
that's-
also said something earlier on. They're like, "Why are you going in there? There's a lot of food and stuff, and like you guys fast a lot." And he's just they're like, "You don't think I fast a lot because I don't have an appetite, do you?" I remember that. And I'm just sitting here like,
He's like, yeah, I'm actually kind of, I'm ashamed of gourmet nights, but still, it wasn't said like
Wasn't
that.
he like the main dude too?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
the
he
gourmet
was
night?
the main
Yeah,
dude.
he is the main dude as far as that goes, and it's ironic
His
because
hypocrite.
he has a gourmet demon.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
He does have a gourmet cell demon, and like Brunch saw that and was just like, "What? You of all people?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't talk
Yeah.
about it."
It's like, I don't mention him.
Okay, yeah, I've got a few more here.
He stays as far back in my subconscious as I can possibly keep him.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny though.
It's like with some people's
we
like,
need more of Aimaru.
yeah.
Okay, so you guys are gonna really hate me for this question.
No, are we?
But
When did Tepe become good again?
You know what? That is a good question.
He was
He
hypnotized
was
by.
like evil for the longest time, and then suddenly he comes back and he's just like, "I'm gonna help you guys," and I'm like, "Wait, when did you become good again?" Well, hang on, am I missing something? Because there
The
are
thing-
points in time when I pick up the manga and I'm just like, "What happened at the end of the last volume?"
It's like, yeah, I forgot.
And I pick up the volume and I'm just like, I don't remember this. I don't remember
He
this.
was-
Where's the last volume? Oh yeah, right, we returned it.
He
Months ago.
he was hypnotized by Joie.
Yes.
He was hypnotized by Joie, and that's the reason why he was like that.
But when did he turn back into being a good guy though?
That is one of the problems, isn't it?
I remember him showing up, and I was like, "Are you still evil?"
If
But
this
it's
is
like,
going on YouTube, someone in the comments, please help.
for anything that we
Because
can.
I can't. I'm not going through that series to figure out when.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm not.
You know
watch-
what? I'll look and see if anybody put it on the wiki, but this wiki is not as thorough.
It's
as,
like the thing is that I'd only stick with the manga on this one. It's like I have better things to do than
Tepe, I
watch
saw
that.
his name.
Than
Where's
watch
Tepe?
the
There he is.
to watch the anime, which is way longer than the manga I just watched for it.
You read. Powers and abilities.
Yeah, I watched the
events.
manga and read the anime.
Yes, you watched the manga and read the anime.
Biggest mistakes ever. Ugh.
Blah 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 blah. Let's see.
Does it only go first?
Yeah, there, and then let's see. Tepe revive Komatsu's heart. Blah blah blah.
It's really weird that I remember most of the characters' names.
I don't.
Okay, so it doesn't. According to the wiki, it doesn't actually explain what it was. Apparently, I'm going to say that when he was acting evil, he was just acting like he was hypnotized. Because here it says he wasn't actually affected by Joie's taste of change, is what they called it.
Taste of change. It's like the change of hearts.
So
from
yeah, when
Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, let's not keep
Why
going
is
back to
going back to
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh? Shut up.
Hey.
Okay,
That's
but
baby.
yeah, apparently that moment where you know he like speared through Komatsu's chest and like ripped his heart out while simultaneously reviving it. While everybody thought that Komatsu was dead and all that other crap that happened. Apparently that was just him acting like he was working with them. I'm gonna say that's what this is saying. So there's the answer to your question.
So yeah, okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, that
was
is
after the air arc, though.
Yeah, that's a real pulled it out of your backside kind of explanation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, just like Joseph Joestar and Tommy Guns.
Joseph Joestar and Tommy Guns.
Oh my
Okay, so your next question.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. I gotta pull it back up again.
Why are the
Okay,
why are the tiny characters
Are
always
Starchin
usually
and
best
Toriko
characters?
actually biological brothers who were born of Acacia and Feroce? Or is it like of their appetites? And what the heck do they even mean by that?
You mean Star Yuna and Toriko?
Yeah.
They are the biological children of Acacia and Frosh.
Okay.
They are the biological children.
Then what
but
was this
she did
thing about him saying, "Are we actually your kid or your kids, or is it like your appetites?" He's like, it was just my appetite, and I'm just like,
You see, that's one of the many instances where Acacia was apparently lying because he was trying to make everybody mad at him so that they could beat up on Neo.
Yeah.
That's apparently what was going on in the
what?
end.
That's what that's what I needed to know was happening.
Yeah. That's what I took away from it. I took away that Acacia was trying to be a good guy, but between, fusing with Neo and Neo trying to take control and actually kill everybody, Acacia had this whole huge Eisen-style, convoluted, long plan that ultimately resulted in him trying to make everybody angry, which worked, at least in the case of Midora, so that they could beat up on Neo properly.
Mm-hmm.
Because Neo doesn't like the taste of rage. Well, good, because you really pissed off Midora, and I think it's hilarious every time I think about that.
Honestly,
I don't know why, that was really satisfying. I really liked that.
That was interesting when that happened, I'll admit.
So yeah, if that explains it, I think it was a big convoluted Eisen-style plan that goes back centuries.
If she's wrong, somebody in the comments pointed out.
If the comment section actually decides to be active as we talk about this, then I will be happy.
What's your next question?
What the heck was the nitro species in the people, and just why?
Why? Well, you had...
Like, my brain was totally out of it already, this question. Pretty much, the nitro species were like an ancient people, right?
Yeah.
And with these ancient people, they knew more about all this gourmet stuff than everybody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I am very confused about them. I mean, by confused about them, I just don't remember much else about them.
Okay, is there a way to search this wiki specifically? They keep changing up Wikia. Anime, manga, story arcs. Yeah, J-Star's Victory Verses. So at this point, after seeing the ending for Toriko and having gone through the entire thing and seeing how big and absolutely ridiculous all the power attacks gets, can we establish that Goku, Toriko, and Zebra being on the same team in J-Star Victory Versus is completely overpowered and completely unfair to everybody else involved?
Yeah, if I were to pick another...
I just looked at those three next to each other, and I hadn't even met Zebra yet, and I knew that was completely unfair.
Like, if I were to pick a team in that video game, I'm probably gonna go with the team with Yusuke on it.
I would go with Team Ichigo, because he has Hiei on his team.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm still sticking with Yusuke.
Yeah, characters, whatever. Let's see if I can find the Nitro.
Honestly, you can't beat off Yu Yu Hakusho on my list of best anime.
That's fine. Animals, miscellaneous characters,
They added,
gourmet hunters,
Tina.
the kings, gourmet nobility. Can I find the Nitro?
Could you just find the Nitro?
Nitro. Well, it keeps on going back to the gourmet nobility.
So yeah.
Can we just get like a Nitro? Oh, here we go.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Rawr, I'm acting like I'm dinosaur.
Monster trolls.
Monster trolls.
Somebody needs to get on this wiki and fix this stuff. Etymology, they were created without a name, nobody knows where they're actually from, blah 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 blah. I'm under the impression that the blue Nitro came from one universe that Neo devoured.
Yeah,
And
Neo ate where they came
ate the
from.
entire universe, and
Yeah.
and then the red Nitro who are more resilient. The red Nitro are like human comparable in the sense that they just kind of hid underground and then they came up and started going up and started, developing all over again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was your question specifically about the Nitro?
You're pretty much answering it.
Okay, so, yeah, basically, I'm under the impression that they come from two different universes, but, Neo ate one, so they ended up moving into another one. The blue Nitro enslaved the red Nitro in order to get them to help essentially defeat Neo.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Neo is the end game here, which
Anyway.
makes sense because Neo means new, actually.
Any new questions?
I had one last one, I think.
Okay.
Back channels, please explain.
That's a good question!
Yeah, because a lot of people happen to know how to use back channels at the end of the series.
Okay. Let's
Apparently
see.
they kept people from dying, and I don't know how.
Yeah, back channels is just like... I don't know how to explain back channels. It had something to do with gourmet spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, it has to be, you know, with all of this.
So who would be a good character to go to when in order for me to find a link to back channels? Human world, gourmet world, ingredients, timeline. Yeah, timeline, please. No, it's not that confusing in terms of the timeline, even though it started going all over the place.
At least in JoJo, they actually have a timeline for like the first 6 parts.
Yeah, and then they destroyed the world, and we had to start all over again with Johnny.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if I can find back channels in here somewhere.
Star Spangled Gate.
Story arcs. Okay, which would it be? Which story arc would it be?
I don't know.
Where were they talking about back channels a lot?
They were talking about back channels a lot during the, you know, like the blue the blue shell.
Yes.
Blue shell.
We just want to find out what back channels explain.
Is this? Oh, the puzzle plankton.
Puzzle plankton. That's a really amazing ingredient, just saying. Any other questions while I go and try to figure out what back channels are again?
No, my last question was back channels and why.
Why back channels?
And I have one really random question that's probably going to be saved for the ends.
Well, we'll see.
Just random question.
So we're gonna go to another. We're gonna talk about. They should mention back channel.
Yeah.
The world of souls. I'm gonna assume they're talking about back channels in here somewhere. Yeah, it takes an insanely long time.
It actually took them about like 3 weeks, but it felt like a lot of years.
Back channels. Let's see what they have about the world of souls. Back channel! There we go! The back channel is an alternate realm between the physical world and the world of souls, where time and space work differently. However, unlike the world of souls, the world of souls, time still flows in the back channel, thus allowing living beings to enter it without repercussions. The back channel is produced when another exceeds the speed of light in order to escape the moon, which is the big whale thing, causing it to create these paths through space and time.
Okay, I remember the whale having to do with back channels.
Yes.
It's like,
So it's the fishy. It's the fishy that's running away from the whale. That's what's creating these back channels, which people go into the back channels and spend a hell of a lot of time there, so that less time has passed when they come back.
I wonder what
they were
Jotaro's
inside of there
reaction
trying to
would
prepare
be.
Yes.
What would Jotaro's reaction be when he sees another?
I don't know. I don't care. We're not gonna
Random
make
marine
anything.
biologists.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I see where you made the connection there
Oh,
now.
there we go. I was so confused. I was like, what the heck?
Please explain your logic as you're stating your question so that I don't think it's completely unrelated.
Should I just say part 4, Jotaro?
But yeah, there's your explanation for back channels.
Okay, is that it?
All right, that's
Is that all
I
the
have.
questions?
Okay, well that's all she has for now.
That's all I have for the time being.
For the time being. Okay, so
Do you have any more?
character erosion.
Erosion.
Do we feel like any of the characters became less and less relevant as time went on?
Well,
course.
Milk.
Yeah, Milk. Come
You
on.
had all these characters like, like Live Bearer and Milk and all these different chefs and all of them. Like, some of them were just there to
The
be
fact
there.
of the
and
matter
fact
is-
like, I'm gonna include you, so I'm just gonna put you in the background.
That's the thing. That's one of the things I don't like about the shonen tropes of everybody comes together to fight the final bad guy, because it really doesn't matter. You're only going to be paying attention to Toriko in the end. You're only paying attention to Toriko, Medora, and Starion, who are fighting against the main bad guys, right?
Mhm.
And then somebody else will make a spontaneous "I saved you" in the background, and it'll be like, "Oh, hey, thanks." And I'm like, "Oh, right, you were here. Why were you here just so that you can make a 3-panel save of a more important character?"
Yeah.
And I guess again the kind of character erosion that which is why I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Coco and Sunny and Zebra are actually people who are actually here doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Which I was upset. I like all 3 of their characters, but it's like, but you can't even add them in the final battle. I mean, that would have at least been fun, right? I mean,
It's like so, there's so much happening. It's like only the people like me who is blinded by fangirling and all.
that's okay. I mean, at least that means you enjoyed it.
I did. I really did.
And I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it at the end. Like I said, everything.
It's
up
like you
until
don't not
the
you
epilogue
do
was
not like would I say a lot of the concepts or just in whatever part you think of or what?
I don't know what you're trying to ask. I'm just looking up some of the characters to see whether or not they're considered dead.
Yeah, it's like when they brought back Grimpatch and Tommy Rod.
It says Tommy Rod's status unknown. He better be freaking dead.
He
Oh my
better
gosh.
be dead. I
Tommy
mean,
Rod's
seriously, when
so
they brought
annoying.
him back, it's like, why?
Bug boy, go away!
Bug boy, leave. Get away. We don't like you. Like, I genuinely don't like you. I'm with Sunny on this one. You're gross.
Yeah.
Buzz off.
Buzz off. Okay, but yeah, okay, so yes, there's definitely character erosion. I don't even know why, I don't know why Tommy Rod showed up in the last, near the end of the last battle. I think the concept of Sunny's Satan hair being able to throw up whatever it is that it eats and bring back their powers and stuff like that, that's a really cool concept that was severely underutilized.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's like
Also, do you know what color Sunny's Satan hair is?
I know it's like gold and black.
Yeah, it is. It's like gold
And black. It's like it's
when
like
I saw a screenshot of it from the anime, I was like, oh shoot.
it's like gold and black. That's what
It's
is.
like, wow, that's actually scary. Seeing it in the manga isn't as scary as seeing it.
And that's the reason
I'm
why
gonna
it's
have to
called
try to see it
Satan
in the
hair.
anime.
Yes, it's scary. Anyway.
Spooky, scary hair.
Okay. I also, again, we had lots of fun powers. I liked Coco's poison. It turns him purple.
I know, but if he uses
I
too
told
much, he
you.
bleaches himself.
That was hilarious. Like, he comes back. I used too much poison. It's like, Coco, what's wrong with your hair? I used too much poison. I guess it stressed me out.
And he's like so okay with that.
It's like I'm cool with it. It comes back.
I wish
The
I had your
pigmentation
resilience.
comes back.
It's just pigment. Pigmentation is not a word. But yeah, we're talking about poor. Okay, so
Poor
now I think it's
Coco.
about
Him
time.
with his-
Now I think it's about time to ask the question. Besides the entire ending of the series, what's the biggest WTF moment?
Oh my
What
gosh.
The biggest what the fork moment in the entire Toriko series.
Emphasis on fork.
What the fork?
Okay, guys, I know you have one in mind.
Well, I have one in mind.
I have one specifically that you guys
You guys
said.
go ahead and point yours out because I'm not sure because a lot of everything.
Okay, you
WTF
first.
for me.
Introduction of Tepe in the gourmet in the Century Soup arc.
Okay.
When he came and he was evil all of a sudden.
No.
No, I said
She's
Century
talking about
Soup.
when he was in the ice hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he showed up, he was wearing like a ski helmet and a ski mask, and it
Oh
looked like
yeah,
he
she didn't know who the heck he was.
because it looked like he had long pink hair, like how Sunny does.
But that was weird.
And then he
yeah.
takes it off,
and like it was
and you
attached to
realize
the
that's
helmet.
not his hair.
And you're like, why?
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like Teppei, I love you to death, but why did you have to make that fashion choice?
I know.
It's like, but
You didn't love him until
that's
after
another.
you realized that
That
was
is
just a fashion
another.
choice.
That's one of the main reasons why I like that arc so much.
Yeah, Teppei's introduction was... I liked Teppei's introduction. I was like, please tell me we're gonna see more of you.
Plus-
The answer is we saw more of him.
Next thing is
In the
because
end,
a
it
wall
wasn't
penguin
incredible.
is best penguin.
Wall penguin is
Well, penguin is best penguin.
I kept on forgetting. Oh yeah, what makes Century Soup so special again? Why haven't they been able to recreate it? Penguin spit. That's why. That was
Penguin
the
spit.
secret ingredient. Penguin spit.
Yeah. It's like you drink that stuff and you just start smiling ugly. You just start smiling ugly, people.
Oh my
The
God.
ugly smile. But
Okay.
I think my
That's the reason
biggest...
why Sunny wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, that's why Sunny specifically decided against eating it. What was I gonna say about it though? My biggest moment that was like, what the fork, was when we realized that Toriko's natural hair color is not blue.
It's black.
It's black, but it's the
And
blue
it's like-
gourmet cell demon inside of him that makes his hair blue.
Oh my god.
It's like, what
Isn't
is
that
the-
weird?
I was like, what? What? What do you mean?
He actually says,
do you mean?
"Yeah, when I was a baby, my hair was actually black."
At that moment, I was like,
At that moment,
what do you mean? This is an anime. I thought your blue hair was normal, and now you're telling me it's not.
at that moment, SpamCrackers realized
Psyche,
that
you
she
can't
had just
explain
found
this
the
one,
biggest
can you?
what
Psyche, you
the
can't
what
explain this one.
moment in this whole.
What the fork? And then it turns out that Toriko doesn't have 2 gourmet demons. He has 3.
Oh my
He's got the
That's
entire...
I
my
didn't like the
biggest
introduction of
WTF
the third
moment
one.
was when we found out there was a third one.
Yeah.
I was like, who are you? Why are you here? And why are you important?
It wasn't important.
No,
In the
he
end, it did
wasn't.
one thing, and that was it. I mean, I guess that's where the writing being rushed showed up.
Yeah.
I guess because certain things weren't explained as well. So I would say that
Yeah.
that's probably where, when they said that the ending was rushed, again, I will say it wasn't as bad as Bleach, so I was okay with it.
Well, they're not gonna rush One Piece since it's so popular.
We're not going to talk about One Piece because none of us know anything about One Piece. Except that Ace dies. That's what I know.
That's what I have, me too.
All that I know is
It is sad. No, everybody hated it.
All that I know is devil fruit.
Yeah, devil fruit. Yeah, I also know the concept of the devil fruit. I know
Yeah.
that as well. And bits and pieces of random One Piece trivia.
Yeah.
But the point is, we're not going to talk about One Piece because none of us know anything about One Piece.
Yeah.
And,
God darn
okay, so, what? Let me think. I talked about power scaling, villain redemption, character erosion. Again, I don't know why it was I got into it. Maybe it was because of the Hulu thumbnail. You should look up the thumbnail on Hulu.
For Toriko?
Yeah, you should look up. Maybe they changed it. I don't know, but it definitely caught my attention. And then I read the concept, and then I decided to leave it alone. And then I saw it again, and I was like, okay, what was this about again? And then I was like, oh yeah, and then I decided to leave it alone again. And then I saw it again, and I was like, I have nothing better to watch right now. And so I decided to watch Toriko.
Still, honestly, I prefer reading the manga than watching the anime.
That's okay. You don't have to make it. You don't have to make it that big a point. No one here is judging. I'm gonna maybe finish watching it eventually.
Eventually, it doesn't watch it at all.
Never finishes watching it. I might. Oh, okay, so I'll finish watching the dub because if I go to
It's
the
50
if I go to
episodes.
the anime, if I go up to let's see if there's just a random episode list here so that I can see how far 50 episodes go. Here's the episode guide. Let's see here. We'll go down to 50 something. So, well, the good news is we do, in fact, manage to meet Zebra.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it ends... No, we don't get to meet Zebra in the anime dub.
Oh, dang.
That is sad, and we
when
don't
does
get
it
to
end?
meet...
When
It
does it...
ends, It says episode 51 is... Huh? Let's see, episode 50... Episode 50 is the first time that Toriko jumped into the gourmet world. And then we don't get any farther than that. That makes me sad. I want to hear
Really?
Zebra in English. We don't get to meet Milk. We do get to meet Teppei.
Yes. I love Teppei so much.
Yeah, I just have to see how weird this looks in the anime. That's what it is.
Yeah, but
I don't think
still,
I'm
ask me for a favorite character list. Komatsu's at top, and Teppei is at second.
Yep, we already discussed that, so we can.
Could I go with my random?
How
question?
far does the anime go anyway? Let's find out here. Yeah, based off of what I'm seeing here. Yeah, based off of what I'm seeing here, it goes into the Four Beasts arc. And is that it?
So, can I get to my really random question?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Like,
What's your random question?
You guys, I don't know if you guys will like me for this or not, but who wears the hair better, Teppei or Josuke?
Teppei or Josuke, who wears the hair better?
I don't know. I never really liked the hairstyle, so I can't say because I don't know the
Pompadours
hairstyle
are kind of dumb.
I know, but I think Teppei makes it work.
Nah, I like Josuke's hair better personally.
Yeah, just
because I've seen Teppei with his hair down, and I like that better than
Teppei
the
with his hair down is a lot better than Teppei with his hair up.
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
we've seen fan pictures of Josuke with his hair down. We've never seen him actually with his hair down. So
yeah, so I gotta have to go with Josuke on this one.
Yeah, but still,
because that hair is Josuke.
But a person who I like better between them is probably Teppei. I like Teppei better than Josuke, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my random question.
Yep. Anybody else have any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, so once again, I have to ask, how satisfied were we with the ending?
Not very.
Honestly, I was just satisfied that the wedding happens. But then you have like, yeah, I mostly wanted to see it through just because, you know, after this, let's get married.
Let's pretend that it ended at chapter 395 and ignore the fact that chapter 396 exists.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's the end of Toriko. You see, I would have considered that to be the perfect ending spot.
Yeah.
Like, if this picture was the very last thing I ever saw in Toriko,
like,
I probably would have cried, but then the epilogue completely messed it up for me.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do this?
It's like, it would have been perfect, pretty much. Otherwise, it would have been pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
Oh well, but what you gonna do? Nothing. The author already did it.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. In, Shimabukuro's, thing that he says in his, final, message here, it says, "I'm a little sad that my art hasn't improved at all since Volume 1. And that was just kind of like, that was sad for me, because I would have to go back to Volume 1. The characters don't look exactly the same as they did before.
Yeah.
But, you know, an artist's improvement is subjective, and that really makes me sad, because he managed to do this for however many years that Toriko was running. It's got 43 volumes, which I thought that there was only 41. Which is why we thought that 41 was going to be the end, and then it turns out we still had 2 more.
Yeah.
On that note, though, I wanted to kind of segue into this thing, where one of my favorite things about long-running manga series is I like seeing how artists' art style changes over the course of that series. I'm sure that if you look, even something like Ouran High School Host Club,
it changed.
It was a real transformation kind of manga, because it only has 18 volumes, but
like
from
at the beginning of that manga, it looked so weird. But now you have like behind the scenes, and that is like
it looks so much better.
So awesome.
And, like, if you compared, like, the beginning of Bleach, JoJo is notorious for it. Yeah. It's fun watching an art style, change.
It is.
And, what else? What was another one that I like to reference? Skip Beat. Skip Beat is really interesting.
Gosh, yes.
I really, like, it's weird, because I go back, and I have a real problem with how all the dudes' faces look.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I really do. I like how the guys, everyone pretty much looks better in the new versions. I think Lori's the only character who essentially looks almost exactly the same.
Yep.
We should talk about Skip Beat sometime.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Skip Beat. I already have, but
yeah,
that's it.
But, last thing, because we technically don't have anything more to talk about, overall, stuff about, overall, like, review of the series, like, how well did you like it?
You know, okay, so let's see if we can summarize, all of our, feelings about Toriko. It's one of those shonen series that's big and stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly endearing with all of the ridiculous things that it does. So in that way, it's kind of
a good
like,
read while it lasted.
yeah, it was.
Some people liked
Towards
it
the
better
end,
than others.
it really lost me, but at the beginning and through, like in the very middle of the series, I loved it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you
at
were
the end,
excited
it
for
lost
the
me.
next.
End of story. That's mine.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, when we were getting towards the end, like I said, I didn't feel it slowing down or speeding up specifically, but you could feel, it got too much into those shonen tropes in the sense that, characters were losing their importance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Characters were losing their importance, and everything was getting so... again, that's the problem I have with something like Dragon Ball, is everything was just too big at the end.
Mhm.
Yes.
Especially considering this planet is multiple times the size of Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Besides,
It was getting too big. Like, even in JoJo, we haven't gotten to the point where that was happening.
Right.
It only happened, like, at the end of part 6. That's the only time it ever got that ridiculous. But for JoJo, it still worked in terms of how the powers worked.
Yeah,
It
I like
just
contained
works.
power. I like
Yes.
powers to be contained in a sense.
Yeah, and that's how some series work better than others.
But yeah, overall, I would say it was a good ride while it lasted. I would recommend it to people who just want to watch a ridiculous shonen series that is centered around food and eating. Actually, it's more of I recommend I read it because I've already mentioned it before, but the anime has, like, 2-episode filler arcs. That's fine. I don't mind 2-episode filler arcs. But the anime has this character named Tina, and she's really annoying. She wasn't in the manga. Actually, she did make a cameo with her little,
yeah, I did see the cameo with the balloon pigeon.
the balloon pigeon.
Wait,
Yeah,
where?
that's what it was called.
I know what it was
I
called.
think that was
What?
was it the Gourmet Festival, or was it in or
Is it in the manga?
yes, it is.
She did
Okay.
make a cameo in the manga, but
Okay.
the anime was already running, so the author decided that he was gonna put her in, like, the background in one of the panels there. So it's not like she wasn't in the manga entirely.
It's like
but
a
she-
Where's Waldo kind of thing.
Where's the red blood cell in the midst of this transfusion?
Yeah, I saw that. I found out where she is. Just look for the freaking out face.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's definitely shonen through and through.
I've actually
It's not what I would call bad. The opening is cringy, but other than that, it's a fun series.
yeah.
It's not something spectacular that I would definitely put in my top 10, but it's something that sticks with you. It's not the kind of thing you forget about
It's like if I were to
if you
put up
actually
like
decide to put time into it.
if I were to put up a best manga thing, I'd either put it as like one of the maybe an honorable mention, because I really enjoyed it, but there's still aspects that I thought about it that just meh.
Oh, really? Like what?
There are like some aspects about it that I didn't like.
You mean like
you
just the Regal Mammoth arc in general, and just like the Parrot arc in general?
those things I hated because they're just so gross.
There's some gross stuff in Toriko, just so
Yep.
everybody knows.
It's like, I know, it's like, there's a lot of stuff in the gourmet world that I wish would have been, carried out differently. It's like, I wish it would have been just a little bit longer, having a little bit more, explanation, but
There are lots of things that needed to be explained.
I know, but, I definitely could see how we can get good recipes off of it.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I do want to see this series have people try to like pseudo make some of the stuff. Like you could make a rainbow fruit jelly kind of thing.
I want to try the challenge of making his house.
You want to try making Toriko's house?
Yes.
That's right. It's edible.
Yeah, but then it ends up like disappearing after a while.
Yep. Because he left for a long time, and everything else came along and ate it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I suppose that would happen."
Gabson's face right now is like, what is wrong with this guy?
No, she's tired. She's just trying not to laugh right now. Don't worry.
You're laughing, and I can only smile.
But
I don't
it's
know how to
like-
laugh at the
But
moment.
I admit this series isn't perfect. It's like there are other
Nothing
series
is perfect.
It's never perfect.
Baccano is the only thing that comes close to perfect.
Yes,
for me.
it is.
in your book. It's like I
Baccano is
still
wonderful.
enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a lot more than Toriko, but still, I still really loved it.
It was more or less worth the read. I don't regret all the time that I put into reading this series. That's a good thing to take away from it. It had some great characters, even though they suffer from the shonen tropes.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was satisfied with the ending
Mhm.
until the epilogue.
Until epilogue, yeah.
But
Alrighty
that'll
then.
be it.
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody have any favorite ingredients they want to share?
Oh,
Like any random ingredient concepts? Okay. What's
Actually,
my
what I
gosh.
really found refreshing, and just as a one, I actually wanted to try, what was it called? Ozone grass?
Ozone
grass.
Doesn't that look like such a luscious looking
Oh my
salad?
gosh.
Yeah.
Right there, just imagine taking a big bite out of that and it just be so refreshing. Kind of like a
I-
snow pea.
Yeah,
like
I-
snow peas or
I
fresh
imagine-
green beans are actually really good when they're crispy and cold.
Right.
I
I imagine
does
it being
look
like that.
it does look incredibly refreshing.
I actually do want to try ozone grass. End of story.
Honestly, I would really just want to try rainbow fruit off of everything.
I think that if I had to pick one thing, I would want to try mellow cola.
I want to
I
try
was about to say,
Mellow
Mellow Cola
Cola
is
is
also
also
one.
really good. It's like, it's also really cool. It's like a rainbow fruit is a lot. It's like, what if I tried to make like an actual like spread jelly with that?
That would be You can just start thinking like it makes you hungry.
Yeah.
It does make you hungry to be reading this manga. So
I know.
if you're having trouble with something like that, then read Toriko. If you need encouragement with finding something
Yeah.
that it will make you hungry. It's one of those cooking series, more or less. It's more about finding the ingredients.
I also
and
want to.
stuff,
I also want to try BB corn.
maybe BB corn.
Yeah, it's
There's
like,
a lot of stuff that look good, but if I had to pick just one, it would be mellow cola.
Yeah,
ozone grass.
I really want to try rainbow fruit.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that was a last minute question that I threw in there, but I'm glad we managed to answer it.
Yeah.
And I think that will be all for this recording/podcast. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get it up, but I have to. Should I just make this like just a sound recording? Should I just leave this with a sound and maybe put one picture up here? Because I'm not gonna make a bunch of pictures to show what we're talking about. This has gone on for like almost.
You can cut pieces out and make it shorter, of course.
Yeah, you're
And
probably
then put
going to be
pictures
cutting
in.
out quite a bit of stuff.
I'm probably not gonna cut out very much.
Oh
Actually.
my gosh.
Yeah.
But
It'll be
what
cut
I-
out more.
But no, I think that we're gonna keep most of it in, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna draw something or if I'm just gonna put like one all-encompassing picture. I don't know. I might draw something.
Like, you could just make a little sketch of, like,
I could draw Chibi Tepe.
Yes! All of us love Tepe. And all of us
Okay.
love Coco.
Okay, so who wants to make a Toriko-based Nyavember request? Okay, you do. Who do you want me to draw for Nyavember?
Either Tepe or Komatsu.
Tepe or Komatsu? I'm probably gonna do Tepe because his hair is green.
I want to see that so bad.
Okay, so I'll see about making my first official Nyavember request, by the way. So I'll probably be throwing that together. And, yeah, I think that that's gonna be it for now. Toriko is good in a stupid kind of way. It's enjoyable, not for everybody, like every other shonen series in existence.
If
and
you
it
want
gets
stupid
absolutely
nonsense, watch
ridiculous.
this. If you want stupid nonsense, you could try reading this.
Yep.
There's a lot of stupid nonsense in this series.
I'll make you hungry, and I might get around to watching it again, but I've got so many other things.
There
on
are
my
also
list.
quite a few food puns.
Oh, the sooner the better. Oh, that's the worst.
There's also like the hot cocoa joke.
Hot cocoa jokes.
Ah.
Well, before we start going into any other jokes, I think that we're gonna end the podcast right here. I would like to thank my sisters for finally getting around to this, and now we can finally return the last volume of Toriko to the library before I start getting any late fees.
Before I get really angry at you for it.
Yeah. So there we go. Say goodbye to the final volume of Toriko. I'll go drop it off afterward. I'll just go walk down to the library. It's gonna rain, maybe, but I'm gonna walk down to the library.
Well, I have to walk too.
Okay.
Take care of Bells, so
Okay.
we could walk together if you wanted. No, wait.
Well, we'll see.
Mhm.
Anyway, thank you for anybody who decided to listen to this. If you came all the way from the beginning to the end, I appreciate you immensely. And, well, you know the usual spiel. This was completely unprompted. Nobody knew that we were going to be doing this because nobody ever talks about Toriko. So here's what I had to say about Toriko, and we talked about it at length.
And I thank you for introducing it.
Yes, it's absolutely ridiculous. And,
I, as I said, I loved it for most of it.
yeah. So, adios, people of Earth and elsewhere. Sisters, say goodbye.
Bye!
Goodbye.
Hasta luego.
Bye!
Is this gonna be a goodbye contest now?